So we're just now coming to the end of Moark Road at the southernmost side of Missouri. You can see a big red gate there. That's the neighbor's driveway. And we're going to cut left. So Moark Road just ended. And we're going to cut left onto the gravel road to the property. And this is where you may encounter a gate or a cable. We'd be happy to give you the combo for that. There we go. So we'll pull on through here in a second. But also I wanted to mention, if you want to drive to State Line Cove, pull through that first gate, and then instead of continuing south, if you go off to the field, go off to the east, and there's kind of a trail that kind of runs along the tree line at the field, and that will take you all the way down to State Line Cove. You can take a truck or an SUV right down to the water, and actually, I guess you could put your boat or jet ski in right there. So we do own this property, and you've got our permission to use that. I mean, it's not an easement or anything, but as long as we own this chunk right here, you're welcome to do that. If you want some easier access to State Line Cove, if you don't want to necessarily put a trail in going east on your property, then this gives you a really good option to still get to the water. And you'll see that big tower there. This used to be a buffalo ranch, and that I guess was a viewing station, so everybody could look at the buffalo. So now we're pulling through to the south, and just follow the gravel road. Beautiful open meadow. We always see deer and turkey out here. This is the nearest neighbor. Super nice guy and his wife, retired. Beautiful lake view. So we're still at the north side of the peninsula. We've actually got some Corps land on the right there. Those white pickets indicate the Corps of Engineer land. And we're going to keep heading south. So this large gray metal building, it's a really good landmark because that's where we come to the Y in the road. So we've just passed the building, pile of gravel, but that won't be there forever. But we come to the Y in the road, and now we're going to go left at the Y in the road. If we were to go right, we would continue all the way down. It goes all the way down to the south side of the peninsula, where that really cool sandy beach area is. So I mean, that's awesome. There are some rough sections in the road, so if you're not in a truck or an SUV, you probably don't want to head down that way. For the most part, it's good, but there is one rocky area where you kind of have to go up some rocks. But anyway, we go to the left. It's just the wildlife out here is amazing. It's like a private zoo. This whole peninsula, it seems like there are some herds of deer and turkeys and whatnot that just stay out here, because almost every single morning we see 10 or 15 or 20 deer in that field. We've been seeing turkey all the time. Now we've come to another Y in the road, and this time we're going to head to the right. If you go left, it just goes to a small field and stops right away. We're going to veer to the right. Really, you do want to have that MapRight link, if at all possible. Download the MapRight app to your smartphone or your tablet, and then we'll send you the link to the active MapRight map. And then if you open your email on your phone, it'll say, do you want to open this, because we'll email you the link. If you open that email, it will say, do you want to open this link within the MapRight program? And you'll say yes. And then the actual interactive map from the listing will open up, and there'll be a little blue dot that indicates where you are. So it's by far the best way to look at these tracts. because this can certainly be confusing. I've been out here many times and I'm still confused by the road system. Obviously these are fairly primitive roads or trails. That is by design. These will never be large paved roads. This is really more for truck and SUV lifestyle. Okay, so we're parked here on the easement road. We're still headed toward the property. Trail going off to the left. That goes to tracks 6, 7, and 8 if you have your map with you, if you want to check where you are, but we're going to keep on going straight. There's tract 9 on the left. It is a beautiful day out. It's about 3 in the afternoon now, and it is close to 70 degrees, which for the middle of winter is pretty great. I do love the Ozarks. It's not generally 70 degrees in the middle of winter, but I mean, we do get that. We had a ton of rain about a week ago, so these roads are sloppy in spots. I'm in a truck, so it's no problem, but you do want to be aware that these minimal maintenance roads, especially after it's been raining, they can be rough. The guys really haven't been out here to clean much up yet, and they will do that, but these will never be big, wide paved roads or anything like that. They'll always be minimum maintenance type roads. We've seen deer today. We've heard turkeys today. We saw what looked like 2 bald eagles, multiple hawks. It's been a good day so far. And that's all just out here on the peninsula. I mean, this peninsula is just its own private world out here. Honestly, when you come out here, you should beg, borrow, or steal a 4-wheeler, because you can have a lot of fun out here. Side-by-sides are good too. They can actually tear up the roads, so that I do love the new trend with everybody having side-by-sides, but it's kind of like unleashing a high school kid with a truck out on the roads. I mean, they just tear everything up. So obviously, we hope everyone uses common sense on these roads. But and I do love side-by-sides, but a 4-wheeler, you can't really cause much damage with that, even if it's extremely wet. Okay, so now we've made it to the big meadow, the big beautiful meadow in about the middle of the peninsula, I guess. And as soon as you get to the meadow, you want to veer to the right. So veer right, and the road easement runs along the edge of the meadow. You can see some tracks out here. I mean, there's really not much traffic since these are private roads. It's only the property owners. And with this being set up as kind of a recreational place, it's more or less property owners that come out, you know, maybe for hunting season or maybe in the summertime. So pretty cool situation, very private. Now this is a really good landmark that lets us know we're getting close. That is one of the 2 original viewing towers for the buffalo when this was a bison ranch. So someone years ago has added that little area up on top there to make it a deer hunting stand, I'm sure. But you can still see the original viewing tower, and that's really similar to the one that you might have noticed at the entrance to Timber Shoals Ranch, right where Mo Ark Road ended. So there's the viewing station, or the viewing tower, with the built-in hunting thing, I guess. But that is a good landmark. It means we're getting close to the property. We probably will splice some videos together. We did the first part of the drive to the viewing tower earlier today, and then we did a couple other odds and ends, and now we're doing the drive to the actual property right now. And it's actually getting late in the afternoon. The sun is starting to sink down in the west. By the way, when we pulled up to that viewing tower just now, there were about 6 or 8 deer right there. We come in this field and we see deer, and then they run off, and then they come back, and they're just, it's amazing out here. Like a wildlife sanctuary. So we're still hugging the edge of the field. We're headed east. And you want to have your MapRight app with you when you're out here, because it's easy to miss the roads and trails. And now we're going to veer right on this last private section of trail, and that's going to take us right to the property. It's a gorgeous afternoon. It's almost 70 degrees. Just beautiful. I've spent the whole day out here, and I don't think I've been this happy in months. It's just been fantastic. So peaceful. So you definitely do want a truck or an SUV to get to any of these tracts, but this one especially is very private at the basically at the end of this road. Big timber everywhere. Now I've been down to this property, but it's been quite a while. And it was just briefly to see how far the road went when the guys were working on it. But if I recall, this has one of the better lake views out of any of these properties out here at Timber Shoals Ranch. Let's take a quick look at the MapRight, and I'll show you what that's all about if you don't already know. So I've got the MapRight map open on my iPad, and this blue dot is indicating where we are, and that's moving as we move. So the yellow lines are the easement roads. The red outlines, of course, are the property, and we're on our way to this tract at the very end right here, and we're almost there. So for the MapRight, all you need to do is you need to get the app. It's a free app for your smartphone or your tablet. I believe you have to have GPS. It might be cell service, but I believe you have to have GPS on your smartphone or your tablet for it to work. And then once you have the app, we will send you, it'll actually come from MapRight, but you'll get a link to that specific map for this property. You then have to open your email that has the link. Now this starts to sound complicated, but it's really not. Open the email that has the link, click on the link, and it will ask you, do you want to open this in the app or in your browser? And you want to open it in the app. So when you click on that, it'll pop open, it'll have the little blue dot. I mean, it's a fantastic way, especially on a deal like this where there's so many miles of easement roads and trails. It's extremely easy to get turned around out here. I still get turned around out here, and I've been out here quite a bit. We're just about to get to the south side of the property here. And guess what? I can already see the lake through the trees. So that's pretty awesome. Straight ahead of us is the lake. Okay. So I'm looking at MapRight, and we have arrived. We're at about the southeast corner of the property. So the land sits on the left side of the road where we are right now. I'm gonna, oops, come on, there we go. I'm gonna look at the topo map really quickly here so I know what we're looking at. Oh, that's easy. It's just a very, very gentle slope, the entire property. About what you see here is what you get on this one. I don't see any steepness. It's basically flat enough to build virtually anywhere. We've got a good mix of timber. I see oak, I see cedar, some hickory, probably some pine in there. We've got pine out here. Beautiful building spots. I can see the lake to the northwest through the trees. I can see the lake straight in front of us, and I can see the lake to the east. So that's awesome. We're on a private peninsula within a private peninsula. This is pretty darn cool. I I could stop here, but I think let's just drive down toward the middle or the north side, and we'll see about that lake view. I'm thinking it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, look at that lake out there. It's great. I never know if the video picks stuff up like that. Here's a good building site, potentially. I mean, you've got to be off the road a certain distance for the setbacks, but level area. You can see the lake through the trees there. Now, if you look at the MapRight app, the road goes just past the property, and there is a turnaround spot, I believe there is up there. So, just briefly at the map here. Whoops, where are we? Okay, if it'll focus. Come on, baby. There we go. So as we continue on the road, we'll be just to the east of the property, but right now we are on the property. And I think what we'll do, we'll take our little tablet and we'll check this out. Oops, come on. There we go. Wow. There's lake off to the east, there's lake to the north. I can see a little bit of, yeah, I can see lake to the west. This is fantastic. Oop. Okay. So I'm looking at the MapRight app, and it's kind of showing that this road, I mean, where we are right now is just to the east of the property. But if we were to walk to the west even just a little bit, we'd be back on the property. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. We got some nice timber mixed with some smaller timber. And this just has a very slight slope, easily buildable. Look at that lake. So when I look at this map, this actually has Corps of Engineer frontage on basically 3 sides, which is pretty amazing. I mean, you really don't get any more private than this. Wow. This is more or less a panoramic lake view here. I believe that's State Line Cove as we look to the northwest. Yeah, I'm sure that is. That's State Line Cove. So that's one place that you can potentially use that trail to put your boat in the water. Just crossing over the one property that we have that's fine with us. Looking to the north at the main channel, off to the northeast. The guys have not marked the lines out here, but we'd be happy to send them out, and they'll mark the approximate lines so you know what's going on. The Corps of Engineers, they're actually pretty good about marking their lines as well. And you'll see that as you go around your property here. There you go, right there. So they've got a tree with, looks like a white X or cross, and then there's a white picket. There you go. Property boundary, Corps of Engineers. So we're standing on the property, and this is the Corps land here. So you've got about a 30-second walk right to all that lake frontage. That is awesome. Like I said, State Line Cove right there, so that's nice. You could put your boat in the water over there and then drift right over here and pick up your passengers if you wanted to. Pick up the kids, and then they don't have to mess with putting the boat in the water.
They can goof off all day, and you can drop them off right on that shoreline. 30-second walk right back to your property here. And the entire west side, as we look, let's see here, look basically to the west, borders the core land as well. This is fantastic. I can't wait to do the drone video, actually. On the downside, I did crash our good drone about an hour ago. So we have a little backup drone that I've never used before. No, I have used it once. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a usable video. So we're walking east along basically the north line. There you can see the truck. There you can see the lake. I mean, this is what it's all about. I don't know that it gets a whole lot better than this. You can hear that water lapping up against the shore. And you can do really well fishing right from the shoreline. We don't generally do videos quite this long, but there is just so much to see here. Interesting. Here and there I see what looks like it could be part of an old road or trail. And actually back here where we were standing earlier, we had a rock formation that almost looked like it was man-made. The way it's squared off there, I really don't know, but I mean, we've been seeing that from time to time out here at Bull Shoals Ranch, is you'll just see what looks like a good flat area with some timber, and then bam, there'll be an old homestead. So that's pretty cool. Another potential building site here. And you do have a setback off the, obviously you do off the road for the utilities and the road setback. And you do have a setback off the boundaries, but it's not as far as off the road. So, I mean, check the covenants to be sure, but you can build pretty close to the boundaries of the property. Now, the road is a different story. I think the setback might be 100 feet on there for utilities and such. So speaking of utilities, the power is going to be at the north side of the peninsula. The easements are in place. The easements run with the road. So the power is available. However, it's going to cost you to get it out here, because this is down at the end of the peninsula. So on the one game plan would be, if you're not in a rush to build, just wait a few years, and as other people build their homes and cabins, the power should get progressively closer and closer. And then when you're actually in a position where you need it, then you could talk to the power company, and you know, it may be very nearby at that point. But currently it's at the north side of the, well, actually we're at the north side. Let me look at the map here. I got confused. Yeah, it's still probably half a mile. Okay, so it's not super close, but it is available. And the longer you wait to build, the more chance that someone else will have done the heavy lifting for you, so to speak. There we go. Here's a nice government marker. Okay. So that's good to have. So yeah, we're right here. We're literally at the northeast corner of the property. And man, what a lake view. I love it. So on lakes like Lake of the Ozarks, which is not a Corps of Engineer lake, but it's a power company lake, actually, you can own, generally you can own just about right up to the water. And that's good. I mean, that's great. But with that, that's all you can use. So if you have 30 feet of lake frontage, that's it. You can use 30 feet of lake frontage at lakes like Lake of the Ozarks. On this particular property, I mean, we're on the property right now. We want to go fishing. There we go. 30-second walk to the water. But we have literally miles of shoreline that we can use, because this is open for public use, the land here in the shoreline. I doubt you'd ever really want to use miles of shoreline, but you've got that option. And I mean, just right here from the property, you've got access to hundreds of feet of shoreline. We've got that beautiful sandy beach we discovered at the south side. We haven't really walked any of this shoreline, so you might discover some other cool stuff. But this is awesome. That is the longest video that I've ever done, I do believe. 16 minutes. So check us out at InstantAcres.com. If the property is available, that's where you'll see it. It'll be on our website. If it's not, then we're sorry you missed it. We've got other stuff out here potentially. We only have one tract like this. This is pretty unique, but check out the drone video as well on the listing page. Email us with any questions, sales@instantacres.com. And once again, check out our actual website at www.instantacres.com.